Stay tuned as we check out this Marvel Avengers Endgame 2-pack. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Now, I've still got a bit of a cold, but I'm going to fight through it as I have a pile of Marvel Legends that I can't wait to open. And I thought, where else to start than this Avengers Endgame 2-pack. So obviously it's got Hawkeye and Black Widow and also Nebula, Ant-Man and Iron Man interchangeable parts. They are wearing what everyone is assuming they are quantum realm suits, but we've not seen the film yet. Nothing is confirmed. They could just be matching uniforms. We don't know. We have no idea what these suits actually are yet, but everyone is assuming quantum realm, and to be fair, I think that's quite a good guess. So Hawkeye comes with his bow, Black Widow comes with her stingers. We also get a gun that we've seen before with Nebula. So yeah, I'll do some comparisons. Looking forward to see what these suits are like, because I'm definitely going to try and get another pack of these, because let's be honest, everybody is going to want their whole Avengers squad wearing these outfits, especially if Endgame lives up to the hype. So it doesn't say Endgame on the box, because I doubt Hasbro even knew what the film was called when this actually went into production, but we do get the Avengers logo at the top. We get Hawkeye and Black Widow on the side. On the back, we get some more promo art of them both. We get from the ranks of S.H.I.E.L.D. to the growing team of the Avengers. Black Widow and Hawkeye put their expert training to use as they suit up to defend the world and the universe from intergalactic threats. So they're suiting up to fight off intergalactic threats. Maybe they're just spacesuits. Who knows? They weren't wearing them when they went to space in that trailer, but that could be early on in the film. Rumoured they're going to battle Thanos a couple of times. Again, fun to speculate, but we just don't know. So, as always, I rambled far too much. Let's get these figures open. And here we have everything out of the box, and I've just had a little mess around with these, and they, as I always say this, but they are much better in person than they first appear. Plenty of articulation, which I'll get into in a minute, but the suits just look great. I know everyone is saying that these suits should have been white. Now, these are probably based off early concept art that Hasbro gets sent when they are making the product. Now, they get sent this really early so they can have the toys out in time for the movie. So I have no doubt that Hasbro got early concept art of these suits when they were grey. Now, obviously they're CGI in the film, so it's very easy for them to be changed colour in post-production, which I assumed is what has happened. And now the suits are white, as we've seen in the new trailer, but these are grey. So I don't think this is Hasbro's fault, so I give Hasbro a pass on this, but I still think they look great as grey, and white/grey, it's not that much of a difference. It's not like they were red and now they're green. It's white and grey. It's not so bad. I think they look great. So I'll go in and look at these individually. I also want to show off these really nice unmasked heads for Scarlett Johansson and also Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye and Black Widow. And of course, we've got some more heads down here, and some of these we've seen before, but I'll do comparisons with all the figures and whatnot. So let's first of all look at Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, in this male book. Now let's start off by taking a look at Hawkeye in this male book, and he does come with his bow, of course. Now we've seen this before with other versions of Hawkeye. It's not a string, unfortunately, it's just plastic, but it still works fine. I've always had mine on my Hawkeye like that, even though it looks a little bit wonky, but still. He gets a weapon, but the suits themselves are really, really nice. Hasbro always go all in with their movie figures, which you know me, I'm very happy about. And there is lots of sculpted detail on this figure. If I just zoom in and see if it will focus for you, really like that A, which is sculpted in. And again, if a customizer really wanted to, they could paint all the grey bits white, but I just don't trust myself to do that. And as you can see, lots of sculpted detail on this figure throughout the figure, from top to bottom. And even here on the wrists, we get those sort of quantum realm buttons. Well, people are assuming quantum realm buttons, or maybe they house nanotech. We're not too sure yet. That's another good guess. But yeah, we've seen them in behind the scene pics. But yeah, this, even the black bit has got like sort of a textured sculpted on it. And yeah, these look really nice. Fair play, Hasbro. And again, articulation in all the places you'd want. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. It's wave swivel, there's decent ab crunch. So yeah, this really good range of motion, and people are going to have fun posing these around, especially when you're getting the whole squad. And yeah, really, really nice. So of course, this is the male buck, so the head will pop off easy. Again, I've not opened my Captain America yet, but he is here in a box on the side of me. So I'm assuming this is the same, but obviously I'll have a better look when I open Captain America, but I'm guessing it's the same. So you can put any head you wanted on this to make a male Avenger. So obviously we get two with this set. We get an Ant-Man helmet and an Iron Man helmet, and both of these plug on there, not a problem. And Ant-Man looks great in this suit, to be fair. And let's try the Iron Man head. Now again, this one always looks a bit weird to me. Like, why would Iron Man just wear his red helmet and this suit? Because the head looks a little bit too big for the body as well. I know it's a helmet on top of a human head, so maybe it should be too big. But yeah, that never looked quite right to me. Like, why would Iron Man not just match grey? I don't know. I don't know. But still, it doesn't look too bad at all, to be fair. I definitely think you're going to have fun with these. As you can see, I should mention that there's only... You don't get no sets of hands, but you do get a fisted hand and an open palm hand. So you have options for holding or punching. But yeah, let's check out the female book. So here we have Black Widow on this female book, and she also comes with her weapons. Now, we've already seen this set of weapons with her Infinity War figure. I think they're exactly the same. They sort of can plug in the middle there to create a spear. They're a little bit wonky, so I need to heat them up. But of course, they come apart as well for her trademark stingers. So yeah, nice little pack in there. And then here is the female book. So just like the male one, plenty of detail. I should mention I do like the red against the grey or the white or whatever it should have been. But there is plenty of sculpted detail on the back. Again, even the black has some sort of texturing in there. And again, another great range of motion. Double jointed knees, ankle pivot. We've got that diaphragm joint, so there's plenty of motion on the waist. And yes, look at this. Double jointed elbows on a female figure. I know Optimus Prime is going to be very happy about that. So are a lot of collectors, as that just makes posing so much more fun to get these, especially someone like Black Widow in those sort of crazy martial arts poses and dynamic stances and whatnot. But yeah, Hasbro, they're paying attention. Thank you very much. Double jointed elbows on a female figure. That is a great step forward. So again, I'll zoom in quickly. Just show you everything. Again, there's that sculpted A, which I really like. And as you can see in close, you get sculpted detail all the way, basically identical to the male, but in female form. So it's another nice base body. And again, I will zoom in and show you these head sculpts in a minute, because that is a very nice head of Scarlett Johansson. But you do get one of a female head in this set, and it is Nebula. So let's take off that and plug in Nebula. And I believe this is a different Nebula head to the one we got in the Guardians of the Galaxy film wave. So I will do a comparison in a minute. But again, that looks great on there as well. And of course, it does get a pack in, so Nebula can hold her gun as well. So there is your Endgame Nebula. So yeah, I guess Nebula becomes an Avenger in Endgame. Very exciting. But again, on this one, you can see the little sort of housing nanotech or quantum round bit on the wrist. We just don't know. And yeah, a decent base body for a female figure. So looking good. So let me get into comparisons. I'll zoom in, show you those head sculpts. But yeah, really, really liking these suits. So here we have a closer look at the Jeremy Renner unmasked head. I know a lot of people are happy that they included this, as they can use this on their Ronin figure. So I will be doing a head swap when I get to review that, of course. And yeah, does it look like Jeremy Renner? I think it does a little bit from certain angles. Definitely. I do like his new hairdo as well. Mohawk for Hawkeye. And yeah, really, really like it. They're using that 3D digital printing tech, which I really, really like, that Hasbro are doing on all their lines now. So long may it continue. It looks great. And if you want to compare that to the previous Hawkeye from that Amazon 4-pack from Age of Ultron, you can see how this version is a little bit more bland. Still a decent head sculpt for its time, but now it's 2019 and they can do this type of stuff. So yeah, very, very nice. And here we have a closer look at Scarlett Johansson, and again, great job. I do think Hasbro like Scarlett Johansson, as their head sculpts for her are always very, very nice. I like the blush, but the face from certain angles definitely looks like Scarlett Jo, and I like the red hair as well, and she's still got that tint of blonde from Infinity War, which so definitely shows time passes in Endgame. So yeah, looking very, very nice. And if I bring in some other Scarlett Johansson head sculpts, you can see what I mean. They've always been very, very nice. And there is another one from the Age of Ultron 4-pack, the same one as Hawkeye. So this one doesn't have the digital print, but they still did a decent job. And obviously the Infinity War one did. And again, they both look great. So yeah, let's get into some more comparisons. So firstly, here we have two versions of Hawkeye, of course, Endgame Hawkeye, and this is Age of Ultron Hawkeye. Now, obviously, Age of Ultron Hawkeye has that quiver that is plugged in due to a hole on the back of the figure. Nice and simple. Now, this guy, even though the box art, if I grab the box again real quick, it actually shows you, I'm going to have to turn the box, actually shows you a quiver on the back of Hawkeye. But obviously, this is a generic base body, so there is no hole in the back of the figure. But if you did want to, you could give this a little paint job, Dremel a little hole, and you could have your Hawkeye with his quiver in his quantum realm suit, maybe. But as you can see, the bows, staff things are the same. But yeah, decent figures. For your Scarlett Johansson comparison, here we have Endgame, Age of Ultron, and Infinity War. And again, 3 great figures. And you can head swap all of these. The heads may not fit tightly onto the pegs, but you can also Dremel, use some glue tack. I'm sure you know how to head swap by now. But these 3 look great. Here we have our Iron Man comparisons, of course, Endgame, Mark 50 from Infinity War. This is the one that lights up from the 3-pack, as you can see there. And then this is the Tony Stark from the 10th anniversary line as well, 2-pack. And yeah, these look great. My head has some paint blemishes. One of his eyes is actually painted red, annoyingly. But it is the same head sculpt as one of the Mark 50s, and I've got a couple of these, so again, I can head swap, it's not a big deal. But I want to know if that Tony Stark head fits on there, as we have seen Tony wear this suit in the trailer. So let's do that. And it does, plugs on there straight away, and to be fair, that looks great. So Tony, straight away, out of the box, no modding at all, can wear one of these quantum realm suits, and it looks really, really good. And here we have our Ant-Man comparison, Endgame, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the original Ant-Man film. This head sculpt, as you can see, is exactly the same as the one that we got with the Ant-Man and the Wasp figure. There's just a few paint differences, but it's essentially the same head sculpt. So obviously I want to know if the Paul Rudd head fits on there, and we have a couple of Paul Rudd heads, as we got one with the 10th anniversary line, and we got one with the Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I will try on both. First, the one that come with the Ant-Man and the Wasp version. And yeah, I love that smirky Paul Rudd face. And it looks great on that body, and it pegs straight on there as well. But Endgame is a serious film, so we don't want that smirk. We want the more serious face. So let me try this one. And this one doesn't seem to want to plug on there straight away, frustratingly. So this one's definitely going to need some modding. You're going to have to Dremel out that hole, annoyingly. But I think this Paul Rudd head would have fit better on this particular book. But still, now we know. And lastly, here we have our comparison of Nebula, of course, from Guardians of the Galaxy and Endgame. Now, these both look great, but these have the most difference in the head. I don't think it's the same head sculpt, as I believe this new head for Nebula is actually bigger than this other one. And on this other one, as much as I liked it, the eyes are blacked out, the head's all blue with the mechanical parts. And on this one, you can actually see her eyes, and there's like a bronzing on the head sculpt. So here's a closer look at the new head, and as you can actually see her eyes, and there's that bronze sort of part of her head, but you can still see the mechanical parts. And when I bring in the old one, definitely no bronze, can't really see her eyes very well. Still both decent, but when they're next to each other, you can definitely see this new Endgame head is definitely bigger, so it's a completely different sculpt. So I wonder where that bronze comes from. But yeah, can you see Karen Gillan in any of these heads? I'm not too sure. It's very well hidden, of course, but they're both decent. but pick your poison. So there we have it, a solid 2-pack. And let's be honest, I could have been here for another hour just doing head swaps and stuff because they're so much fun. I'm definitely going to try and track down another 2-pack. So if you're in the UK, I got mine from Indemand Toys, but I'm sure Kapow Toys will have them up very soon as well. So go and find them, go and get your set, because if you're an MCU fan, you're going to need them. And let's be honest, we don't even know what they are yet. Are they Quantum Realm? Are they spacesuits? Are they Start Tech? Are they Pym Tech? Do these little blue bits hold nanotech? We just don't know, and that's what's so fun. But we're going to find out at Avengers Endgame on the 25th of April. I've got my tickets. Have you got yours? It's going to be fun, and I'm going to need the whole squad. So yeah, help me track down some more sets, people. I'm going to need the whole squad wearing these suits. But as always, people, much appreciated. Leave your comments below. What do you think of these? How many sets of these are you going to buy? Are we crazy? Hasbro know what they're doing, let's be honest. But yeah, hit that subscribe button. I've got the whole Armored Thanos Build-A-Figure wave still to review. It's going to be fun. Help me hit 7K. Much appreciated. And as always, I shall see you on the next one.